Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host Carol Kahan. We are coming to you live from Sedona Rouge Hotel, which is one of our sponsors, as well as Broadcast Rentals and Sedona Advertising Agency. I'd like to thank our sponsors for participating in this year's festival. And right now, I'm going to introduce you to two of our filmmakers who actually just arrived from LA. No joke, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That is right. Hi, everybody. My name is Lidieth Arevalo. I'm the filmmaker and director of ALPHARAOH, the film that we're going to be presenting today. I just came from Long Beach.
Hi, I'm Alex ALPHARAOH. I am the subject of the documentary film called ALPHARAOH.
Well, it's a pleasure having you both here, and the film was amazing. I can't wait to talk about your journey and how this all came about for you as well. And so let's play a clip first, and then we can talk about it.
Sure, absolutely.
The idea to do this show came to me when I was actually in Guatemala. I had traveled with advanced parole and I was not sure if I was going to come back. And I made a promise with God. I said that if I made it back home, if I came back home, this was the story that I was going to tell. See, I was told that there was light at the end of the tunnel, but it may be my turn to be told to go, turn away from the only home that I know. If I ask where to, the reply, I don't know. Regardless, you shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Writer and actor Alex ALPHARAOH joins me now. He's recently awarded the 2018 Best Solo Performance by the LA Drama Critics Circle, his one-man show, Wet, a Documented Journey. Congratulations, and it's great to meet you, Alex.
Thank you.
So show, as I said, is about your journey. It began here as a 3-month-old from Guatemala, right?
That is correct. Before I did this show, nobody knew what my immigration status in the country was. Everyone assumed that I was born here. I was going to basically come out to my entire artistic community. Let's get started with our crazy eights. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, woo! Being undocumented oftentimes is an afterthought for me. I think about it early in the morning when I wake up and I go, shit, is today the day that I'm gonna get caught up and get deported? And I think about it at night. Thank God that today was not the day that I got caught up and I got deported. Doing the show it's literally exercising of my demons. The artist in me wants full houses every night. I want the biggest venues. I want hundreds of thousands of people, even millions if possible, to see this show. The human being, me, the person, Alex ALPHARAOH, I just kind of don't want anyone to see it.
I believe in a right to live. My family number one, and for them I'll be giving all I have to give. I know it's hard to see the answers. These politicians do us wrong. They say that we bring in disaster, but we are Latino strong. And I'm like, doing a stereotyping fighters, doing a bury us in
Wow. So the first question, like even in watching this, the first question that I actually had was, were you not afraid to like come out knowing, where our country was standing with immigration and just, it's all plastered over news, people are talking about it. So did that fear ever come out where you could go back and then you wouldn't be able to come back here?
Oh, I'm afraid right now. I mean, it's, we're in Arizona. Arizona has some of the most restrictive and tight immigration policies. For a long time, people have been trying to get me to do my show here in Arizona, and my management is against it because there's so much political turmoil, especially when it comes to immigration here. So, yeah, there's always that sense of fear. Even though I have no real reason to fear anymore, it's so conditioned into me, and it's a reflection of my community. It's a reflection of what broken immigration policy in this country has done to a whole group of individuals like myself and Lidieth.
Right. So what if somebody just, were to use this as an example, like, okay, well, yeah, you came in under the radar, but, where, you're here in Arizona, or, someone could just, could someone take you away? I hope not.
No, and that's what's so and that's what's so it's so heartbreaking is that the fear is internalized, right? And so even though it's fine, everything is fine, there's always that irrational fear that something could happen, that someone could come. But when the show was first coming up, my circumstances and my immigration situation was very different than what it is now, and they literally could have just kind of come in and go, you're coming with us, without any real explanation, and things could have gone very differently. So while I was on tour and doing the show, that was something that was on my mind every single night that I would go up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, your mom brought you here, right? When you were, was it 3 or something?
I was
like
3
that?
months old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was 3 months old. Yeah, I died in the border, and I've had conversations with her. Actually, I was telling Lidieth that my mom can't see this show. She can't, she doesn't want to have anything to do with it. She loves me, she supports my career, but she says, you're a trained actor, you've gone to school for this, you've worked really hard to get to where you are. You can live this every night. I can't. It's traumatizing to me, and she's lived with a lot of guilt and a lot of pain, because she was a 15-year-old child who risked her own life and her son's life to bring me to the United States, because the circumstances back home were so harrowing and so distraught for them.
Yeah, I know, it's so disheartening. I think, as Americans, we sit on one side of the fence, and we don't really even know, half of what someone goes through just to come over here, and we think like, it's law or something like that, but the turmoil, and just like you said, I mean, so many people come here risking their lives for a better life for themselves and for mostly for their children.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and Lydia can attest to that as well,
Yeah, and some people lose their lives, unfortunately, trying to attain, that better life and everything. I'm also myself an immigrant. I'm still under the DACA program. I still feel like some type of protection. It really definitely changed my life ever since I was able to acquire that permit, that you have to renew every 2 years. And yes, there is that fear sometimes, but at the same time, I feel like I've lived in fear my whole life, that I can no longer live in fear. And if I can use the arts, what I love doing, the film, to portray this, to portray these stories and to humanize, the issue, because sometimes what comes down to is just ignorance or not knowing somebody, because I don't blame people who are like completely against immigrants, because maybe they don't know an immigrant, maybe they have not gotten the chance to know that we're just human beings, right? And we're just trying to make the best out of our own lives as well, like anybody would.
Yeah.
And how did the two of you connect?
Well, I work at this organization, and my boss actually saw the show. There was an LA Times article about his show, and he was like, hey, we should all check it out. And then we all went as a group, and we saw it. It like impacted my life. I was like, whoa, I cried. And I saw a lot of my own story in his story. So I just approached him afterwards, and that was at the time when I was just about to enter my grad school. And I told him, you know what, your story is very powerful. I'm also an immigrant, and I would love to collaborate if we can, work on a film together. And that became my thesis.
Awesome. And then this particular show is nationwide, correct?
Yeah. I'm currently touring it. I began touring it in late 2017. And I continue today. A friend of mine actually put it in perspective. He said, congratulations on a 3-year run. I go, wait, what? Oh, wow, yeah, it's been 3 years. So very fortunate that I've had the opportunity to tour a lot of the country and to really see the beautiful humanity that is the United States of America. So we are good people. It's just, perceptions.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I know you just got into town, actually, you rolled right in. So when is your film going to be shown?
Today, actually, at 7:15 p.m. at the Herkins Theater.
Herkins?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Well, I can't wait to hear audience reaction. I can't wait to get your feedback on how everything is going so far, because I know you haven't really enjoyed the Sedona Film Festival just yet. And how can people find out more about your film other than seeing it this evening?
Well, they can follow us on social media. ALPHARAOH, you can find it as ALPHARAOH Film. We're on Instagram and also Facebook. So.
Okay.
We'll also be putting up a link on my website, which is documentedjourney.com.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you both. And speaking of social media, if you're following us, hashtag Sedona Film Fest 2020 and hashtag Sedona Film Fest 26. We'll be back with more interviews of filmmakers after this.